Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends. Wherever you are, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I appreciate you very much tuning in for the first time. Welcome. My name is Emmy. This is a space I created to help me and my community create, discover, maintain, and build courage. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I welcome you. So I hope you had a wonderful week, did you? And if you didn't, I hope you're fighting a winning battle. I hope you're fighting a winning battle. And if you're not, you feel like giving up, I'd like to tell you that some mountains are assigned to us so that we can show others how to move it. So perhaps that's your mountain. Own it. You can do it. You have what it takes. And if you can't, if you feel depleted, pray for wisdom. You know what they say, that the person who fights and runs away gets to live to fight another day. So pray for wisdom. Some fights are not meant to be fought until the end. Some you give in, some you walk away. So pray for wisdom to know which ones not to fight to the end. And I hope I know a powerful saying, that a quote from Martin Luther King, that says, "Do not allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them. Do not allow anybody to pull you so low as to allow you to hate them." So stay above fray and be empowered. Nothing stays the same forever. Really, nothing stays the same forever. There is victory on the other side. And whatever is bringing you down today is the same thing that will elevate you. So we are just going to change the narrative. We're going to change the title of our stories. After all is done and said, we're going to say, we made it. This is what happened, but this is what we did. We rose, we rise. We rise every time. Problems do come and go, but we rise. Temptations do come and go, but we rise. We are overcomers. We are. There is something greater in us. The things, the person in us, the power in us is greater than all our problems. So don't give up, guys. Don't give up. So we are continuing our conversation, and this week I'm going to talk about our own personal power. So if you're like me, you've been in a situation where you're so tempted to blame somebody for your problems. I've been there. Because you're surprised by what you did. Sometimes we act in a way that is not consistent with our self-image. So we have a self-image that we keep. Perhaps the self-image is, I should never ask for help. Our self-image is, I should never lie. Our self-image is, I should never appear weak. All those self-image positivity messages that we have, or we hope to portray. And then when things happen, we surprise ourselves and say, oh my God, that is inconsistent with my self-image, and therefore I am going to deny and push that responsibility to my environment. So when we deny our actions and do not take responsibility for our own actions, we disempower ourselves, disowning the aspects of ourselves and assigning it to an environment. Perhaps you can say, blame it on, because of the rain. I didn't do this. It's because of you. It's because, I feel this way because of you. You make me feel some way. You made me think some way. We are accusing the other person. So we are assigning responsibility to someone else. We are not empowering ourselves. We are seeing the qualities that are in us and refusing to own it. And that is not self-power. So when we do that, it makes us feel powerless. And we cannot initiate change. We cannot initiate positive change if we keep blaming others for our problems. Today I was listening to some music. I went to YouTube and I found this song. I'm sure it's very popular. It has about 363 million views. So it's a song by Calvin Harris, and he's talking about cheating. And he's found himself, or whatever the context of the song is, he's found himself cheating on the partner. And he's saying, blame it on the night. Don't blame it on me. I was manipulated by it. I had no choice. I was the friend that she missed, and she needed me to talk. She needed me to talk to her. So blame it on the night. So, that kind of thing, blaming everything on our environment and not taking personal responsibility. So it keeps you powerless, and it makes you victim of circumstances. So you never see a silver lining in anything that happens around you. You're always thinking, oh, it happened to me, it happened to me, it happened to me, it happened to me. You will never see things happening for you, if you keep blaming. And perhaps we do that also because we haven't created a strong sense of self that is self-forgiving, that is compassionate, that is understanding. So we are afraid that if we take responsibility, we're going to be very, very hard on ourselves. We're going to be very critical on ourselves, and that's going to hurt. So we haven't created a space in our hearts to forgive ourselves, to give ourselves the right to be wrong. We haven't done that. So we are directing hostility to our environment. We are directing that hostility that we would have directed it to us, to ourselves, to someone else, and that's not empowering at all. So I'm encouraging everybody by saying taking responsibility is not punishment. I don't know where we got that. We probably got the idea that taking responsibility means we're going to be punished when we were kids. When our parents disciplined us or corrected us, we never saw it as a correction. We saw it as punishment. And we've carried that message as adults. So we avoid responsibility like a plague. So we probably need to remind ourselves, like, taking full responsibility is not punishment. It is empowering. And we can start by using the I statement. I know you've heard of the I statement. So if you know somebody who is controlling, or you are in a relationship with someone who is controlling, so in the middle of the conversation, in a heated conversation, you probably are going to say, you control me. A self-empowering statement, alternative statement, is to tell that person, I feel like you don't trust me to run my own life. That's the same message. But you're taking responsibility of your own feelings, and you're inviting conversation with the other person. I'll give you another example. We could say it is difficult to make friends. We all have said that at some point, right? It is so hard to make friends. A self-empowering statement will say, I have difficulty making friends. I have difficulty making friends. You've taken full responsibility. And it sounds like when you do that, it sounds like you're ready for action, right? You're inviting action. You're going to initiate. If you know what the problem is, that I find it hard, it's hard for me to make friends. So you're going to take initiatives to correct that. So self-empowering statements does not use depersonalized language. You are not using impersonal language, and you're not using questions. You are using statements, and you're not denying your personal power. You're not denying your personal power. I know we are in the Olympics season right now, and I hope you're excited. Have you heard of a guy called Julius Yego? Have you? If you haven't, this week, because we're in the Olympics, I was watching a few videos, and I came across the video of Julius Yego telling his story, and I'd like to share a little bit of that with you. So Julius Yego is a champion, is a world champion of the sport javelin. And Julia's background, he's from Kenya, by the way. Anybody watching that is not from Kenya. So Julius Yego is a 2015 world champion of the sport javelin. He grew up in a very humble family in Kenya, and he didn't have a lot of resources, and he had a dream. So he didn't even have a place to practice javelin. So he thought of ways to do this, to make his dream come true. And he started going to the internet cafe to watch YouTube channel of the best javelin throwers. So he says he would come to the internet cafe and watch the best javelin throwers and then go home and practice what he learned. And then he'll come back and do the same. He didn't even have internet at home. Can you imagine that? He had to go somewhere. He looked for resources. So around 2010, we began hearing about his name, right? So it looks like an overnight success, but it's not. So in 2010, he threw 75 meters. And after that, he said, I kept learning. And then in 2011, he said that I won the All African Games, and he became the first Kenyan to win in that sport. And then in 2012, he threw 81 meters, and he said, I made it to the Olympics final, and he became the first African under the sport of javelin to make it to the Olympics. And then in 2014, he won gold in the Commonwealth Games. And he didn't stop there. In 2015, he threw 92 meters, and that's when he became the world champion. So Julius had so many reasons not to become a champion, but he took full responsibility of everything around him and never blamed the government, never blamed the background of his family, never blamed anybody. He used his resources to create a champion. So today, I am throwing that challenge to all of you. There is a champion in you. There is a champion in everybody. I don't know what excuses you have for not succeeding or for not moving forward. Is it children? Is it your husband? Is it your parents? Is it the country that you live in? Perhaps if you stop looking at the negatives and utilize your resources, we can all have a champion in you. A champion is missing in you, and we are waiting for that champion. You are a champion. Discover that champion and use the resources around you, just like Julius did. We are all champions, just we need to discover what kind of champion we are by using our resources, and the buck stops at you. So own your own feelings, take full responsibility, and take power. Take your own power back by not blaming anybody ever for any situation that you are in. Do not blame anybody. Use your resources and take ownership of your feelings. Take ownership of your actions, of your thoughts, everything. So there is a champion in you. Go ahead and discover that champion in you. I look forward to finding out what champion you will make. And the world is waiting on you. Okay? Thank you guys for tuning in today. Until next time, God bless you and have a very fabulous week.